Traders, welcome back to the channel. Just so you know, this is a partnered post, so I do want that to be known. This is an honest breakdown of a company that was just brought across the desk, so you're aware. Now, it's worth mentioning this company does fit somewhat into the portfolio, but I'm going to be giving them a breakdown and kind of a new sector into the clean energy market. So it's very interesting to go on about this company and stuff that I'm really liking about them. Now, when it comes to clean energy, everyone's talking about hydrogen, and we have lithium-based cars, but no one's really talking about ammonia for clean energy. And I really want to start discussing this because this was really brought to my attention very recently, and then upon reading articles from Forbes, it's showing that this is a real product and has real promise. So let's not waste any more time. Like, subscribe, do what you gotta do. Let's get to it. All right, so let's dive right into it. I don't want to make this very long. I'm short, sweet, to the point, break them down as quickly as possible. The company is AMPower, AMM Power, and then the ticker is going to be AMPF. Now, this is a penny stock. They're very new to the market, and I want to make it very clear, I do not own any of this stock, and I wouldn't even recommend, not financial advice, of course, but buying any at this moment. You want to wait and let the stock settle. That's very important to know. But as you start looking at the company and who they are, you really start to get interested, because we know, as me and with the portfolio, we like getting clean energy stocks, but we like to back into them with the minerals, because if the clean energy stocks are going to do well, the minerals are going to have to do very well behind them. And then we've seen companies like MP with the mineral prices skyrocketing this year alone. So earnings are absolutely crushing. And that's what I'm looking at with this play specifically. So let's break them down just a little bit. AmPower Corp is a company of front lines innovating for the future of global ammonia production, empowering clean industrial future. Now, the main competitor with this company is going to be something like Fuel Cell, Plug Power, and some of these other ones that use hydrogen-based products. That's going to be the big thing here. I believe Bloom Energy does a little bit as well. So those are going to be the big ones that this is going to be competing with, and you've seen their valuations absolutely start to skyrocket this year alone. Now, it's worth noting again, AmPower has only been public for about a month now, and they're already up about $1, and they moved about 50% up. I don't know if this run's going to increase, so you need to take that with a grain of salt, but it's worth mentioning they're in a very lucrative field, and those companies have seen absolute massive blow-ups this year alone. So I want to continue going on. Lithium was once thought to be the only solution for clean energy. However, with this shift, lithium is no longer believed to solely provide enough power to support the transition to heavy industries to clean and sustainable energy sources. So we're going to see more viable sources come out to the market as well. Like I mentioned with silver before as well, like silver is one of the top conductors, but obviously you're not going to use silver in every single EV. That'd be absolutely ridiculously expensive. So when we're looking at ammonia, let's look at the benefits. So let's look at the benefits right here. Ammonia may have 1.5x energy density as hydrogen is stored at -33 Celsius compared to -253. That's a huge factor, just so you know. The storage process uses a lot of energy, which makes the cost of hydrogen a lot more expensive, and is less flammable, easier to transport, and more cost effective. So those are going to be the positives to it. Now, hydrogen obviously has positives as well, so there's going to be gives and takes with each side of the market, but I want to focus on this article from Forbes as well. Now, I'll have the links to all these articles down below if you're interested in checking them out for yourself. But there's been a lot of talk, especially with clean energy, and I've done a lot of research on them because that makes up a tiny bulk of my portfolio. Is it going to be just minerals when it comes to clean energy? Now, hydrogen is one of the things I'm skeptical to get into because there's so many people in that field, and I know the cost that comes with hydrogen as well. So the basis behind this, as well as what Forbes is talking about in this article, is maybe making a shift towards a carbon-free ammonia, right? Because with carbon, there comes problems a lot, and then the carbon-free is obviously what you need in this specific sector. So that's worth mentioning. And they're tackling this key issue and explaining how this can be positive and the negatives, and they're showing that it's a real possibility and shows positive effects in the long-term aftermath. But the key thing with hydrogen is that it's the most abundant element in the universe, and its combustion results in water as a byproduct. So it's showing that hydrogen has a lot of upside because there's so much of it, obviously. But when it comes down to ammonia, it's going to be a little bit harder to mine and get that resource collected together compared to ammonia. So obviously that's going to be the downfall here. But like I said, downfalls with both sides. And it's just showing that we're opening our thoughts up to more than just hydrogen-based energy. Ammonia could be a very good product as well, and doing more on the energy side, like the 1.5x%. But what I want to do right now is go over the chart just a little bit. Like I said, I just want to highlight some key things. Now, what you can see since they've gone public, now this is the part that does get me a little bit worried, and I don't like getting involved in any type of pump or dump. So we've seen that we've gone live right here about 66 66 cents. Since then, we pumped all the way up to $1, and now we're kind of flatlining. It's worth mentioning the market was extremely bullish during this time, so that's a pretty decent time to go public. And the OBV does look strong as well, but I would be waiting for this to get some sort of break back down to the downside. It just looks like it will. We also have been pushed right back underneath that monthly level. I don't see the point in, forcing my hand here, because if I'm looking to get into this, it's not for a quick flip, it's for a long-term potential play. Any mineral play that I'm playing on this account and on this YouTube channel is going to be a long-term play. These are not short-term options, and you can't even do short-term options with these penny stocks. In closing, going over AMPower, it is exciting to see other sort of resources come to light, because there's going to be a lot of testing done, and there's a lot of potential in the short term as well as the medium term as well with these stocks going into the market. Now, the dollar range, I think this could come a little bit down, maybe to 80, 70 cents, and that's where it would probably look a little bit more lucrative, and maybe that 60 cents open that it had as a market. So that would be a really interesting point to be looking to get into some of these positions, but as of right now, it's not a buy for me personally. As a company, I love what they're doing. I love anything looking for clean energy and looking for holes to kind of disrupt the market, and the market's right now looking towards hydrogen, it's looking towards lithium, and green ammonia is not really getting any of that, spotlight. So that is a highlight that I do want to point out here. I would take a little bit more of a look into this company if you're interested in any type of clean energy materials. But like, subscribe, do what you got to do. We'll be back.